next with the oysters is a Hangtown Fry from Placerville. And the story behind this is in the 1800s, gold rush, a guy walks in, lots of gold, and says to the chef, make me the most expensive thing you have. The chef goes, okay, well, I got oysters in from San Francisco. I just got this fresh cut of bacon coming in from somewhere, you know, like really fancy. And the eggs come across from this local farm. What they decide to do, they do an omelette with these items. We're gonna butter the pan. Then we gotta get the oysters in. The bacon I'm gonna put in is like mostly cooked. Needs a little bit more time though. Pop. Oh. And this is actually a great way. I found scissors on bacon. I know this isn't a bacon cooking show, but if you grab your bacon and you cut little pieces of it, you actually get the ridges out and you flatten your bacon, and it's a lot easier to properly cook bacon if you're cutting the ridges. All right. I think we have more space for more bacon. Let's pull this out of the way for a second. So now, I've seen this done a couple ways. I'm actually gonna pull some of this out so that the eggs can cook a little more uniformly, and then I'm gonna put them back in. If you have a larger frying pan, you might be able to push these to the side. You wanna bring down the heat really low. So the yolk and the egg white cook at different temperatures, and so it's actually really difficult to make a good scrambled egg, or in this case an omelet. And you really are just stirring, and you can't tell that the egg is being cooked, but it is. So really the key to this is low heat. And of course, bacon fat. We haven't fried all of the moisture out of it, and so you can actually hear the creamy texture going down into the plate. Mmm. Eureka!
All right, Santa Claus, so we're trying it out. We made these two recipes with oysters. You could say that mine is the poor man's oyster recipe and yours is the rich prospector's.
Yeah, given that the bacon's in here.
Yeah, but they've got a lot in common at the end of the day, namely that they both have oysters.
And that's great for seasteaders. That's great for people living on a seastead. That these oysters are going to be plentiful.
It's not just great. It's necessary.
Good point.
Because human beings are obligate seafood eaters in the same way that cats are obligate carnivores and cows are obligate herbivores. We actually need a certain omega-3 fatty acid that you can only find in a few places. One is oysters, one is organ meat. Which one do you want? Go with the oysters.
Good point.
So, DHA, I write about it in the Guide to Ocean Superfoods. You can download that as well if you get on the email list for seasteading. But in a nutshell, our brains really depend on this vital nutrient. It's hard to get, so load up on oysters at least once a week, but you really should be eating seafood daily if you're a serious seasteader. So that was part of my reason for doing this whole series, was to show that seafood is not optional. It's obligatory. In the same way that, seasteads are not optional. You have to live on a seastead.
You must.
Coercion at its finest.
Yeah, but then how do we do it, right? There's going to be better ways and there's going to be less good ways.
Sure.
And the whole idea is to try to figure out sooner rather than later what those good ways are. And
What are the political recipes?
That
will lead to the greatest flourishing.
Yeah, we got to test them all out. So this is the Seastead Test Kitchen, and we will test out some really funky recipes. That's going to happen.
Yeah.
But that's part of the fun.
Exactly. I think our work here is done for this week. Go get those oysters, and
they're delicious.
We'll see you next time on
Eating Like a Seasteader. Eureka! No, it's really good. You need to get me to stop talking.
So, consider the clam. Bivalves have 2 holes.
I'd love to see where you're going with this.
They've got a mouth and they've got a pooper.
And they're not the same.
No.